Volleyball went up against the MAC favorite in Canisius as well as Niagara over the weekend. How did they fare?
And field hockey took a trip up I-95 to face Providence in a Big East clash. How did the Bobcats do as they look to make a push for the postseason?
All that plus top 5 plays and more. This is Sports Paws.
Welcome into Sports Paws on the campus of Quinnipiac University. I'm Chris Dacey, sitting alongside Chris Longchamp, and we have you covered on Quinnipiac Sports for the next half an hour. Chris, let's started with the volleyball team who started their weekend with a game on Saturday with Canisius coming into town. Let's roll the tape. Hustle, never quit was the motto for this game. It was their game of emphasis, so there was a big crowd as you see it piling in here to Bert Kong. We're going to start off in the first set as Quinnipiac is on the attack, and then Canisius it's going to get dug up by Canisius. It's going to get dug up, and then Quinnipiac's going to kill it. However, Canisius is going to win the first set. Now let's move on to the second set, as Canisius will mishandle the pass, and Kaylee Oates is right there to kill it right down, and Quinnipiac is going to win the second set. Now it's 1-1. On to the third set now. And it's Morgan Sherwin with a strong swing, and the block is going to be sent out of bounds, so Quinnipiac takes the 2-1 lead and wins the third set. Now on to the fourth set, Quinnipiac looking to close this one out on a high note in front of that large crowd. And it is Maggie Baker with the dig, and it's going to eventually find its way to Georgia Sapali with a kill, and Quinnipiac is going to win this one 3-1. And as you can see, they're right in front of their sign, and this one's going to lead into their next game.
After their win against Canisius, the team would play the Niagara Purple Eagles the next day. Let's see how they did. And as you can see here, the team is riding a 2-game winning streak heading into the final game of the homestand. And we'll pick it up here in the third set. It is tied at one set apiece, and Jess Struer sets it to Megan Riddle to kill to extend the Purple Eagles lead. And they would finish off the third set after the long volley with the Bobcats. Cameron Maris gets the block, and you'll see it right here. They'll get the block, and they'll take the 2-1 lead in sets. Heading into the fourth set here, and the Bobcats start to get some momentum here, and you'll see it right here. Olga Zempati gets the block to tally the score for the Bobcats, and then after the serve, Kaylee Oates will get the kill and tally the assist to Ariana Diaz. But that would be the last of the Bobcats' good fortunes in this game, and only the Purple Eagles would need one more point, and it's coming up right here from J.C. Roberts. Gets the game-winning kill to secure the win for the Purple Eagles. 3 sets, 2-1, and that's all she wrote.
Now let's take a look at the MAC volleyball standings after Quinnipiac split over the weekend. So here they are. Quinnipiac in that 6th spot after the weekend split, and Fairfield, no surprises there, on top of the MAC, followed by Marist and Canisius.
Volleyball beat reporter Eric Kerr caught up with Coach Kyle Robinson after the game.
The women's volleyball team goes 1-1 at home again this weekend. This time the team won against Canisius, but lost against Niagara here at Bert Kong. Coach Kyle Robinson says the team needs to fix their inconsistencies in order to win 2 games in a row here in Hamden.
We haven't yet put together a 2-day MAC conference kind of weekend where we can play hard on a Saturday and be great, and then do the same thing on a Sunday. Personally, as a coach, I think it's a maturity issue, and that's how you win at a high level. They have to mature through these processes of losing matches this way. Yeah, we just got to show up, 2 days in a row.
In 5 days, Quinnipiac is set to play the best team in the MAC, Fairfield. This match will take place at home after losing to the Stags 3-0 up in Fairfield. Eric Kerr, Q30 Sports.
The field hockey team played a top 25 team in the Providence Friars. We'll take the full screen right here, and we will see it once again, it's coming. Don't worry, guys. The Bobcats were outshot in the game by the Friars 11-9. However, the Bobcats managed to take the game to a penalty shootout, but ended up losing the game 3-2.
We're going to stick with field hockey now. A little bit of a rivalry on the Quinnipiac field hockey team as Yale came to Quinnipiac on Sunday. Let's roll the tape. So like I said, Battle of Whitney Ave, and it was also senior day for the Quinnipiac field hockey team, as you can see the seniors being honored on the field before this game. Now we're going to start in the first quarter with QU on the attack. It's Eva Veldehorst, and she's going to dribble through multiple Yale defenders and get the shot off, but it's going to go just over the net to keep it tied at 0. And Quinnipiac Yale on the attack, or Quinnipiac on the attack, and then Bianca Strube is going to get another shot here, but it's going to go wide of the net, still 0-0 going into the second quarter. Now Yale's on the attack. But you're going to see Quinnipiac goalie Mac Vorel make not one, but 2 saves to keep this game tied at 0 still in the second quarter. Now Val Perkins is going to get some opportunities for Quinnipiac off the save, going to get another one, but an aggressive charge by the Yale goalie is going to keep this one scoreless. Now off the penalty corner in the second quarter still, it's going to be Bianca Strube is going to put Quinnipiac up 1-0 with that one. That was a nice one right into the top right corner. Game tied, or Quinnipiac up 1-0 entering halftime, but Yale's going to come back with a penalty shot of their own, or penalty corner of their own, and tie this game. And another penalty corner for Yale, but this one's going to go wide. Still 1-1. Now we're still in the third quarter. Quinnipiac with another scoring opportunity, but Yale goalie making another save. Still 1-1 going into the fourth quarter. And now Strube is going to get another scoring opportunity, but yet again another save. Still 1-1. Now Yale on the attack here, and this one's just going to get past Volleyball, and Yale is going to go up 2-1. Now Quinnipiac pulls their goalie, but they can't do anything here. Yale is going to win this one 2-1 and spoil Quinnipiac's senior day.
After the weekend, let's see where the Bobcats are in the standings. The Bobcats currently sit in 8th place in the Big East at 3-12, and it's 1-4 in the conference. They're just sitting in the last place spot here, so what can you do?
Playoff chances are looking pretty slim for Quinnipiac as Big East play continues to wind down. Oh, Chris, it's time for a break, but when we come back in 2 minutes, Quinnipiac's soccer team is looking to keep pace with Iona and St. Peter's as Canisius stood in their way on Saturday.
And the men's ice hockey team had 2 games this weekend against Maine. We'll see how they did.
Stay with us.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Hey!
There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. The men's soccer played Canisius this weekend. It was a highlight game for Bobcat Game Day, but if you missed it, let's see how they played. And you'll see it here. The players are lining up, getting ready for the game, and they are ready to take on Canisius. First half, we'll pick it up here, and there's going to be this cross here to Simon Hillinger, and he takes it off his body and puts it in the back of the net. Quinnipiac up 1-0 at this point.
Great ball control.
Yeah, great.
Great celebration too. You love to see that.
And then later on in the first half, another cross over the head of the Canisius defender, and Braj Austin, who shoots it, but it is saved by Fabio De Eric. And then later on again, Roman Daniel drives through the Canisius defense and passes to Hillinger and puts a shot on De Eric. And again, once again, a great stop. Later on in the first half, from the corner, Griffin Scalia heads it towards the net, and De Eric can't get to that one. Quinnipiac's up 2-0. And what a corner from the Bobcats there. The whole team is hyped. And then once again, in the first half, off the free kick, Griffin Scalia again scores the header for his second goal of the game. Quinnipiac up 3-0 at this point, and he can't be stopped. Again, and then later on in the first half, again, Simon Hillinger gets it, shoots it, and a beautiful ball right into the back of the net. 4-0. Quinnipiac would add one more goal in the second half, and at the end of the game, Quinnipiac would take this one 5-0 over Canisius.
After the big one, let's take a look at those men's soccer standings. As you can see, Quinnipiac still trying to keep pace with St. Peter's and Iona, as they are in the third spot there, followed by Niagara, or followed by St. Peter, or trying to keep pace with St. Peter's and Iona, followed by Niagara, then Marist, Ryder, Siena, and then Manhattan round out the rest of the MAC standings.
The men's ice hockey team played Maine this weekend for 2 games at home. Could the Bobcats defend the home ice? Let's roll the tape. And this is a big game. Maine Hockey East opponent, tough opponent. They're always going to come in here. Heading into the first period, we have Keith Petrozelli, our goalie. And we got we have Edward Trailmarks coming down on a breakaway, and Petrozelli flashes the leather to deny that goal right there. But once again, it is going to be a shot, and Trailmarks gets on the end of this one for the rebound. Maine up 1-0 at this point in the game. And Trailmarks, once again, always around the net, looking for that goal. Heading into the second period, the Black Bears still leading 1-0, and it is nothing but Trailmarks in this game. Again, wraps around, puts another goal into the net. Maine up 2-0 in this game. But here comes Quinnipiac. We got Joe O'Connor right here. You see him. He scores the goal, puts the Bobcats on the board, cuts the deficit in half, 2-1 Maine. Then we got Peter Delivertor to Wyatt Bongiovanni, and that ties the game right there, two apiece. And then once again later in the second period, on the on-and opportunity for the Bobcats, it's going to be Nick Germain, 2-on-1 across the Brindamore, and it somehow it stays out of the net. And then we're heading into the third period here, 3-2 Black Bears on the man advantage, and Adam Daw capitalizes off the rebound. And that was just a great rebound from Daw to put it in the back of the net there. And we got one more thing, Wyatt Bongiovanni, but Maine goalie Swayman is there to stop him, and Maine will take this one 4-2 over the Bobcats.
Now let's see how the Bobcats responded in Game 2 against Maine. So we saw we lost the first game, Quinnipiac looking to rebound with a win in Game 2. Now it'll be a busy first period for both goalies in the first period, but it's going to be Maine who's going to jump out to an early lead here in the first period. This one's just going to get right past Keith Petrozelli. Maine go up 1-0. But 38 seconds later, it's Michael Lombardi with the equalizer. Just throws it at the net, somehow gets in. It is 1-1, and Bobcats fans love it. You're going to see those Teletubbies. They're loving it. And then 2 minutes later, it's going to be Ethan Lay. He's going to get his second goal of the season. Bobcats go up 2-1, and now the Ice Cats loving it as the Bobcats take a lead. Now, It's Ethan DeYoung who's going to get his name on the scorecard as the Bobcats go up 3-1. As you can see, he's excited, celebrating with his teammates there. And now we're going to go to the third period. And it's going to be Wyatt Bongiovanni off the faceoff is going to score. Quinnipiac going up 3-1, and they will go on to win this one 4-3, respond to that loss in Game 1 against Maine. Here's Rand Pecknold after.
We made mistakes all night, but we were good. You know, we controlled the puck a lot. I thought it was a good effort, and take the win and move on.
After the weekend concluded, men's ice hockey beat reporter Patrick Flatley had more on the team's performance.
There's nothing that can discourage an offense more than looking up at the scoreboard and seeing you're losing the game but drastically outshooting your opponent. That was the case Friday night for the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team. Some teams let that get to them, some bounce back. Luckily for the Bobcats, they didn't have much time to think about it with a quick turnaround, playing the same Maine team the next night. Quinnipiac wanted to bounce back. Just ask Wyatt Bongiovanni.
I think we got to play to our identity. We'll be successful tomorrow.
It looked like things weren't going to change when Maine's first shot of the game got past Keith Petruzzelli, putting the Black Bears up early. But something was different for the Bobcats in this game. Unlike Friday night, Quinnipiac answered right away. Only 38 seconds later, Michael Lombardi got the crowd back in the game, igniting the offense that couldn't finish just the night before. Quinnipiac finished the first period with 2 more goals by Ethan Lay and Ethan DeYoung, all credited to one thing in particular. If you've ever spoke with Rand Pecknold, you'll know that culture, attitude, and buy-in are the 3 main things that he stresses to his team both on and off the ice, and was the difference between last night's loss to Maine and today's win against Maine.
I thought tonight we were a little more honest. I still don't think we played our best game tonight. We still have a little ways to go. We got a lot of freshmen and some older guys that need to get back into the way they played last year.
I just thought we bought in a lot more. You know, guys are forechecking, doing the little things. I mean, you saw at the end why Bongiovanni has a great shot block there with, you know, less than a minute left. I mean, that type of stuff. You know, we didn't see as much of it last night, unfortunately, but, you know, as a group, we just want to start, you know, playing more to our identity there.
The Bobcats will look to continue to buy into the system and carry the momentum from this win into their next game on Sunday, October 27th against Vermont at home. Reporting from Hamden, Patrick Flatley, Q30 Sports.
Thanks, Pat. Great stuff. Earlier today, Quinnipiac men's ice hockey beat reporter Stephen Pappas sat down with Ethan DeYoung about his second year so far on the team.
What's up? I'm Stephen Pappas alongside Ethan DeYoung here, the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team. Sitting down with Ethan for a quick little Q&A. So, Ethan, you're now in your second season with the Quinnipiac Bobcats. How has your role changed from last year to this year?
I think special teams is a big part. You know, last year we had you know, a bunch of top guys in the first line power play. This year, you know, we lost pretty much all of them. So, you know, going there, then being one of the main penalty kill guys. You know, you can see last night we had a 5-minute. You know, thrown out there quite a bit. So I think it's just ice time. You know what I mean? Just getting used to that. You know, getting the cardio.
This off season, was there anything that you did that was kind of different that you wanted to work on specifically, or was it kind of business as usual?
Well, like we had our year-end interviews with the coach, and he kind of gives you a list of what you got to work on. So pretty much, I think everybody on our team's got to work on, you know, explosiveness, you know, confidence. I think that's the biggest thing going from your first year to your second year than just pretty much shooting the puck more.
So you got to attend the Carolina Hurricanes development camp over the summer. Just take us through what that experience was like and what it was like playing with some top draft picks.
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, you know, being you know, to get part of, like, you know, the professional atmosphere and all of that, getting to meet the coaches, other top draft picks. Like, there's a first round guy there, you know, and get to, like, talk to them and stuff like that, how mature they are. But yeah, you know, just getting tips out of that. Like, we did a lot of you know, meetings. We did like a nutrition class, you know, tell you like what the professionals eat and stuff like that. And like, we did also a little meeting on, you know, how to conduct interviews and all that sort of stuff. So it was a really good experience, you know, to take a lot out of it.
He's Ethan DeYoung. I'm Stephen Pappas. The Bobcats back in action here at the Frank Perotti Jr. Arena next Sunday against the Vermont Catamounts at 2:30 p.m.
Thanks, Steve, great stuff. The weekly USCHO poll came out today. Let's see where Quinnipiac ranks among some of the top teams in the nation. The Bobcats would fall this week to number 9, while Minnesota Duluth dropped from number 3 to number 8, and Wisconsin would move up from number 17 to number 6 in the poll this week. And it was surprising because Minnesota Duluth a couple weeks ago was in the top spot, and now they're down at number 8.
Yeah, definitely shocking right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move on to Quinnipiac women's soccer team. The Bobcats were in Jersey City for a matchup with St. Peter's. It was a 1-0 win for Quinnipiac. The lone goal of the match was scored by sophomore forward Emily Loney. Quinnipiac was also able to outshoot St. Peter's 22-9. With the win, the Bobcats moved to 8-6 overall and 4-3 in MAC play.
The Bobcats also faced Iona on the road this weekend. Here's how they did. The Bobcats ended up falling to the Gales by the score of 1-0. The Bobcats were outshot in the game by the Gales 14-9, but they did make 5 saves in the game, which was pretty impressive.
Now after the loss to Iona, let's take a look and see how the rest of the MAC stacks up in the standings for women's soccer. As you can see, Monmouth on top there, 8-0. Then Fairfield and Ryder round out the top 3. Quinnipiac sitting there in that 4th spot and 4-4, followed by Marist, Siena, Niagara, and then Iona.
After the break, the first media day for men's basketball happened. Listen to the coaches and the players.
And like always, it wouldn't be Sports Paws without our top 5 plays of the week. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average 4-legged homie and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Today was the first media day for Quinnipiac men's basketball team, and head coach Baker Dunleavy talked about his expectations and more for this upcoming season.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's been a great off season. Really enjoyed it. We've had a productive summer school session. Unique year for us. It was our foreign tour year, so we took a little trip to Canada. So I like to feel like we're a little bit ahead of the curve just in terms of familiarity with each other, but our depth is very young, and we got a lot of first-year players in the lineup. So that was great, but at the same time, we're still coming along. Well, I like to think that we probably learned the most about just each other. You know, spending a lot of time with each other away from school. You know, in the summer, really just quality time. During the season, you know, you're so busy with preparation and scouting reports and practice. It's really nice to be able to get away in the summer and just spend quality time together. I thought on the court was very productive, able to get minutes for guys, again, who haven't played any college games yet, and I thought that was really good.
Women's golf traveled to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to face Lehigh University, and the Bobcats played today and will wrap up the tournament tomorrow along with their fall season.
Another team took the trek down to New Jersey this weekend. It was the Quinnipiac men's cross-country team. The Bobcats ran in the Princeton Invitational on Saturday morning. Quinnipiac finished 19th out of 24 teams participating in the event. Junior Jeff Venter was the first Bobcat to finish the 8K as he finished in just over 25 minutes. That was good for 87th place overall.
Both the men and women's tennis teams traveled to Penn and Army respectively to compete in the ITA regional tournament. Both teams fought hard but lost early on in their respective tournaments.
Now, Chris, let's end tonight on a high note. Let's roll the top 5 plays of the week.
Oh, yeah. Chris, let's see them.
I will start off with number 5, top 5 plays of the week. I'm excited to see what we got. Let's start off play number 5. We're going to go to the field hockey field, and it's Bianca Strube with the penalty corner. And this was just a rocket to the back of the net. That was going to give Quinnipiac a 1-0 lead. More from this game later.
We're going to take it up to the ice rink now, and it's Pierre Deliveratore to Michael Lombardi here, who scores on the extremely tough angle, almost in the corner there.
Just threw it at the net. He wasn't. I don't know.
Let's take a look again. Right, it hits the post too. What a shot from Lombardi.
Absolutely. Play number 3, we're going to go back to field hockey like I promised, and this time it's Valerie Perkins with a few opportunities for Quinnipiac off the rebound, but Yale quickly scrambles to clear that ball. Yale wins 2-1.
All right, and we're going to come back to that same game. Joe O'Connor once again from Skylar Brindamore finishes off the nice passing play right here, and he'll score right through, getting it right through the main goalie right there.
Now we're going to keep it on the ice for play number 1. This is from the first game of the 2 games against Maine. Maine looks like it has a great opportunity here, but Keith Petruzzelli shuts the door with a nice save in the glove. Quinnipiac would lose that first game 4-2. Now let's look at some upcoming games here for Quinnipiac Athletics on our slate here. Now, Chris, I don't know about you, but let's see some of the upcoming games. Women's soccer welcomes Manhattan, and then men's soccer going to Monmouth. Men's ice hockey has Vermont coming in, another Hockey East opponent, and then field hockey has Old Dominion, going to Old Dominion. What game are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to men's ice hockey here because they got another Hockey East opponent. Hockey East always plays ECAC tough, and it'll be a tough game for the Bobcats to win, but if they pull it out, it'll be great for them.
The game I'm looking forward to the most is that men's soccer game. The men's soccer team just put up 5 goals against Canisius. It was at home. We covered it for Bobcat Game Day. So I want to see how they're going to do against Monmouth, especially with the big game from Simon Hilliger, see how they respond. That's a Wednesday night game under the lights in Monmouth.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a big game.
It is always a big game. And that is all the time we have for tonight, but the coverage of Quinnipiac sports never stops. So check out our website at q30tv.com and follow us on Twitter at q30sports.
Make sure you come back next week, same time, same place for another Sports Paws. For my co-anchor, Chris Longchamp, I'm Chris Dacey. Have a good night, Bobcats.